Hi, I'm Marisa. I'm the founder of Method Trading, and welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, because if you are a struggling trader, you are in the right place. I help struggling traders get unstuck and become profitable. Now, there's a reason you haven't been successful yet at trading. There's a reason you're not profitable yet. There is a reason you are struggling. And I've got a bit of bad news for you. Nobody else is talking about this. Nobody else is teaching you how to be a trader. What they are doing is they are teaching you to be an analyst. They are teaching you technicals, charts, strategies. They're throwing in cool words like get some discipline, focus on your psychology. No one's showing you how to do that. The difference between an analyst and a trader is that analysts, and there's thousands of analysts, there's thousands of successful analysts, and guess what? They all have jobs, they all have salaries because they work for someone else. They provide information on the charts, levels, setups, etc. for someone else to use because they don't know how to trade. Traders, on the other hand, they are the ones that can execute under pressure. They can work with uncertainty. They can manage the risk. And there's a key word in there, pressure. I help traders become profitable by helping their mindset and their psychology, the real psychology. It's not just throwing out, get some discipline. It's hard to get discipline. You can get it. Now, what am I going to help you with on my channel? Remember, you need to hit subscribe. You need to hit that notification bell because I post all things mindset and psychology. I help struggling traders get unstuck and become profitable. I'm going to teach you how to have a strong mindset, how to be mentally strong, how to have hardiness. And that's what's actually needed so that you can operate under pressure. It's kind of like being the Formula One driver, okay? There's an entire team in an F1 car. There's engineers, there's coaches, there's managers, there's a huge team. They're all working on that car. They all know exactly how that car works. There's only one person that can drive that car. That is the driver. And he has what the others don't have. He is able to drive that car under immense pressure. The mental fortitude that an F1 driver needs is what you need as a trader. You are the driver. Now, here's the thing. I bet you've joined strategies. I bet you joined signal groups. I bet you joined mentorships, and none of them work because you are not yet a trader. You don't have the mental fortitude needed to be a trader. You can learn it. Don't worry about that. Once you are a trader, once you have grown into being the trader and having that ability to work under pressure, to make decisions under pressure, you can get signals from analysts. You can have someone working for you to analyze the charts for you. Yes, you need to do your final checks to make sure that you're comfortable with what you're doing. You can then trade anything you like. That's the power you're going to get. But you need to pause and start doing the right things. Let me tell you a little bit about myself because I wasn't always a trader. I didn't always know how this worked. I too once was struggling, really, really stuck. Before I got into trading, I worked in the corporate world. I was a rat stuck in the corporate rat race. That's how I felt. I felt very frustrated, very stuck. I had a good job. I worked in regulatory compliance for investment banks in London, so I made good money, but I was very unhappy. I felt so trapped by the corporate rat race, by needing to be in an office, having a boss that, quite frankly, none of them were very nice. And I've just felt for about 20 years, I just didn't know how to get out of it. What I really wanted was I wanted to trade for myself because I wanted the freedom. I didn't necessarily do it for the money because I already made a good salary. I'd already bought some properties. I was already fairly successful, I'll be honest, but I was trapped and I wanted the freedom. I wanted the time freedom that trading could give me. But the problem was I could not become profitable. I was completely stuck trying different strategies, trying different signal groups. I just could not make it work. And what was even worse was I felt like such a failure. I was consumed with doubt, with fear. I was going around the carousel of FOMO, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and then revenge trading. And I was blowing accounts. And I always came back to just feeling like such a failure. I felt awful. I felt like I would never make it work. And when I found strategies I liked, I found I could trade them a little bit successfully, but I always found I was breaking my rules. I always found I had no real discipline. I couldn't execute consistently, and I just could never keep the profits I made. I was going round in circles, stuck. And then one day I was trading Tesla stocks. I was doing scalp trading, so short-term trading, about 9:30 in the morning after the open. And I had a great morning. I had a really profitable morning. I made about 4 trades and they all just worked. I closed the computer and I felt very fulfilled. I felt very hopeful. I was like, maybe this is the start of something really good. In the afternoon, I came back. I grabbed my computer off the couch. I opened it and I just had that feeling of I could make more. If I could get a few more trades that day, I could undo the losses I'd had yesterday. My account would be almost back where it was, and then things were just going to work out perfectly for me. And of course, everything went wrong. I lost all my profits from that morning and more. And when I slammed that computer shut, I felt like I'd hit the bottom of the barrel. I felt so low. It's hard to explain. And I just sat there and something clicked in my brain and I said, this is unacceptable. This will never work, because even when I can trade the strategy, I always come back and blow everything because I had no control over myself. And I knew then that it didn't matter what I traded, how I traded, I could never become profitable if I didn't start getting some control over myself, getting out of this feeling of fear and doubt constantly and getting some confidence back. So right there and then, my brain kind of just clicked and I knew what I needed. I needed a coach that worked on mindset, deep, deep mindset. And I had done some of this coaching already as part of my corporate job. So I had an idea of the kind of transformation that could happen. I just didn't realize that this is what was needed for trading yet, because I thought trading was all about the charts. It was something I could learn, some technical information, an edge I could learn, and then I could just do it. So I set about finding my coach. But the problem was, nobody teaches this in trading, and you need someone, specifically a trader, to teach you this, to coach you, because trading is so unique. It's not like the corporate world. I couldn't go and see my old coach that I had worked with in my corporate job because she just wouldn't understand what was going on. She wouldn't understand how trading works. She would just say, well, just, follow your rules. No one was teaching this. I could find people that taught courses, technical courses. I could find people that sold signals. I could find people that sold mentorships, and I tried some of those. But mentorship doesn't work because a mentor tells you what they're doing. So they would say, well, I'm trading euro dollar and I'm going long this week. Here's a hint. Here's a level to follow. This is what I'm doing. And then peppered with, get some discipline. Make sure you're focusing on discipline. Nobody would take the time to coach me, to coach my mind. And then I finally found my coach. It wasn't easy, but I did find him. And I still work with him today. I created Method Trading, which is coaching for traders. It teaches you to become a trader because we focus on your mindset. We get you the confidence. We grow you as a person. And we start eliminating those fears and doubts, those deep-rooted fears and doubts that you have, and the belief you have about yourself. Underlying is always a belief that this won't work for you, that you can't do this. That's what I had. That's what I needed to undo. So who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Marisa. I'm the founder of Method Trading. Before I became a trader, I worked in regulatory compliance for investment banks in London. I'm now a full-time trader, and I do swing trading on Forex and US stocks. I'm a crypto investor and high time frame trader, and I'm also a long-term value investor in the global stock markets. In 2025, my portfolio surpassed $1 million. I'm a trading mindset expert and I'm a trained coach. I've worked with Hollywood success coach Bernard Hiller, and I also trained with trader and CEO of City Traders Imperium, Daniel Martin. And finally, I'm a performance coach for City Traders Imperium, a prop firm based in London. And most importantly, I now have confidence. I have self-belief. I feel strong. I feel powerful. I'm able to problem solve. I'm able to trust myself. Yes, once in a while I feel a bit of fear. I feel doubts. I'm human. Of course, I'm human. But I know how to manage those. I know how to recognize them. I know how to have resilience in myself. And that's what makes me a good trader. That's what makes me a consistent trader. And that's what I offer you through coaching. Now, when you subscribe to my channel and you hit that notification bell, you're going to know when I'm posting videos. And I post videos about mindset, about psychology, about how to become a mentally strong person and manage the risks and the uncertainty of trading so that you can actually become a trader and stop being an analyst. So make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button now. And if you want to get even more content from me, you can also subscribe to my newsletter. The button is somewhere below here.
Okay, let's go.